As an initial reflection, I often quote this commentary Professor Murube del Castillo published as long ago as 1986. The argument of whether to operate bilateral cataracts in a single session or in two different sessions is as old as the operation itself, and the controversy between supporters of one option and the other had already in the Middle Ages become fiercely heated, and so it has stayed over the centuries up to the present day. You too, dear reader, have probably taken sides with unusual firmness and even with a point of aggressiveness.
History has taught us that rowing against the current and changing an established rule is very difficult and dangerous. Great men have tried and have suffered contempt and at times were jailed. Our group, comprising of 4 surgeons, for more than 10 years have been performing in a normal way bilateral cataract surgery. We have gone through doubts, and including at times we returned to the unilateral surgery due to the lack of support, and have been under attack by the ophthalmology ward. There are 3 facts that have impelled us with determination to continue our task after many years of delay.
First, when our local professional association, the Sociedad Canaria de Oftalmología, the Canarian Ophthalmological Society, which brings together all the ophthalmologists in our autonomous region, drew up the official cataract surgery protocols, and an item was included expressly stating that bilateral cataract surgery was another option, as valid as unilateral surgery, and that there is no scientific evidence to support the view that bilaterality might be associated to a greater number of complications. Bilateral surgery is a valid alternative to unilateral surgery, and the decision to opt for one or the other will depend on the surgeon's own criterion and on the consent of the patient involved. We believe that the fact that hundreds of ophthalmologists have thus validated the performance of single-session bilateral surgery, and officially as well, is a landmark in the history of cataract surgery.
The second encouraging element was in the beginning of 2007, when the greatest work ever done on cataracts bilateral surgery, that we will present later on, in which up to 5 official organisms are implicated: the Spanish Ministry of Science and Innovation, the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, the Government of Canarias through the Ministry of Health, and the Agency of Health Evaluation of the Carlos III Health Institute. Similar functions have the FDA of the United States. The third important factor was getting to know Steve and Charles, and to have been able to participate in the beginning of the international cataracts bilateral surgery. Then we thought that we could be able to win the battle, as the Bible's epic stories. Our Society of Bilateral Surgery is David, and the ophthalmology ward is Goliath.
Regarding safety, it has been assessed by determining the frequency of intra- or post-operatory complications associated to both types of surgical procedure being compared, as reported by surgeons. Additionally, and this is important, The group coordinating the trial has contacted each patient by telephone after surgery to inquire into any problems potentially related to the surgery performed, and secondly, we have revised the minimum basic dataset (MBDS) of the public hospitals in Gran Canaria in order to detect any possible cases of patients with ophthalmological complications who might have gone straight to hospital without going back to the surgeon who performed the operation. The assessment of the effectiveness of bilateral as opposed to unilateral surgery has been undertaken in two different but complementary ways. A. The objective determination of clinical effectiveness was undertaken by quantifying the improvement after treatment of conventional visual acuity with and without correction, i.e., visual acuity measured before and after surgery and with and without correction using Snellen's optotypes. This information was collected by ophthalmologists. B. The measuring of health-related quality of life was performed by means of the Euro-Qual 5D EQ5D generic questionnaire, which, though not specifically focused on vision, is a solid measuring tool, easily and quickly self-administered, and which offers reliable and valid results. The specific visual functioning VF14 Quality of Life Questionnaire is a tool for the self-assessment of visual capacity, designed to evaluate the impact of visual dysfunction on everyday activity.
To estimate the cost-effectiveness ratio, information was gathered on health resources utilization by means of a validated questionnaire. Transport, medicaments, medical tests, companions and families lost time, and accounting for hospitals.
In general terms, improvement in the quality of life is faster after bilateral surgery. Improvement in vision-related quality of life is greater after bilateral surgery, although differences disappear once unilateral patients have had their second eye operated on. There are no statistical differences between both groups as regards intra- and post-surgical complication. There is no complication directly derived from bilateral cataract surgery.
The incremental cost per quality gains for the bilateral surgery was dominant. Lower cost and greater effectiveness comparing to unilateral surgery for both patients and healthcare providers.
We have been a long time fighting for bilateral cataract surgery. It's been a never-ending struggle, a long way. But little by little, we have seen how our practice was superior to the unilateral surgery. We have overcome a lot of obstacles. With time, some ophthalmologists have united themselves to us and supported our cause. We believe that this number can be incremented from now onwards. We are convinced that this work, which includes 807 patients, is the point of reference that we need to get to our goal, the international recognition of the bilateral cataract surgery.